So besides the fact that motion capture is really cool,
is it? Yeah. Go ahead.
What did you find in you described what happened for the animation. What did you find in choreographic terms? What kind of information did it give you that you brought into the choreography?
Right. In using it, I wasn't really interested in just. I wanted to see how it would change how I made dances, and change my choices, and that was primary. It was kind of only after seeing how cool those figures looked that I decided to put it into the piece. But that's another story? Sure. With the motion capture. Okay, so the first couple of times we're trying this, the dancers are doing a duet. We do a lot of partnering work. We're pretty good at it, and there's a lot of like kind of intense exchange between people, and you get the energy of it. Anyway, so Ted and Angie are there kind of vibing each other, and on the screen there's absolutely nothing. Then I thought, well, where did that go? So that was the first question of what's quantifiable about that experience? Could I figure out how to find that in another way or something? I don't think I ever really did, but that was one thing. And another thing, these little balls that are Velcroed on, they're not really made for dancers. So Ted is there dancing, and then a ball falls off, and he goes like this. And I thought, look, you could see he's dancer person. What is that? Where is his focus when he's dancing, and then like he's got a job to do? What gets there first? How do you figure that out? So I got interested in looking more at the presence of dance movement, and not so much just the shape of it, but kind of the person behind that, and can you quantify that?
And how do you bring that back into choreography? How do you keep the dancers from becoming dancer people again, rather than the...
Well, that's not all we did. So then you do some phrases, and then they're right back. I don't know. It's hard to go back, but these are the kinds of questions that I get really curious about.
Tell us about the imaginary friend dance.
Oh, that was great. Okay, so there's then two people, one without the little balls and one with, and they're in partnering, and they're lifting each other, and just it's great contact improvisation. But then on the screen you see this figure who's responding to something that's not there. And it's like an ecstatic experience, kind of sort of St. Teresa, kind of in a different way.
Somebody can be flying around and there's no sense of where that's coming from.
Yeah. Interestingly, once they leave the Earth, once they become airborne, it becomes those kind of computer graphic figures that have no weight. And not so interesting, but when they're just shoved and caught in a way that is not humanly possible but still connected to the ground, somehow that's more interesting to me in my eye. And so I don't know, it's that led on a whole train of thought about the ecstatic experience, about the kinds of fables and stories we tell each other culturally that may shift from one to the other. So it kept on tying back somehow into landing place. But I think that I don't know what I intended really to make, but the final product is really just a record of these kinds of things we thought about and tried, and then finding a form for that at the end.
And does all of this come back to you, to that idea you talked about from Eritrea about feeling yourself a foreigner in a culture that seems to have what you called the code? Yeah, especially if you're thinking about, just the technological code. For somebody they know exactly how to describe all of that, all those, the figure on the screen, what the data is. And for some of us, we're mystified. So it does come back to it. And, you're looking for those parallel leaps of interest, if not faith. Yeah.